Ecosystem services. What is an ecosystem? While most of us are familiar with the term ecosystem, a lot of people may be unsure about what the term actually means, and that's understandable. Several different definitions are often used for the same term. However, the best all-encompassing definition for an ecosystem is all the living organisms, plants, animals, and bacteria, and the non-living components, air, water, soil, weather, that interact with each other as a system. The size of an ecosystem can range from a small tide pool to a giant desert. All the members of the system are interconnected, so the loss or change of one factor can have large effects rippling through the entire ecosystem. What are ecosystem services? Ecosystem services are the benefits nature provides to human well-being. The term is frequently thrown around in the world of ecosystems, but why should you care about them? Although the term is quite new, our connection to nature is not. We depend on nature for our survival. Without healthy ecosystems, our drinking water isn't clean, nor is the air we breathe. We also enjoy nature. Studies show that people who spend time in nature tend to be happier than those that don't. With industry and housing expanding at record pace, ecosystem advocates attempt to inform you of the benefits we receive from nature in dollar amounts, so we can better understand the trade-offs we are making between nature and industrial development. Why are ecosystem services important? This brings us to the reasons why we feel ecosystem services are important to each and every person. Understanding nature in economic terms, while not perfect, allows us to put everything into the same comparison unit: money. Although nature is so important to human existence because of all the goods and services it provides, it is sometimes not thought about when people want to build businesses or dump trash. Economists have tried to show people how valuable our ecosystems are by giving it a dollar value. A recent study estimated the combined benefits of nature to people at well over $100 trillion per year. To put this in perspective, the top 50 most profitable companies globally combine to make just under $10 trillion per year. Valuing nature in a way that decision makers understand may help promote conservation efforts in the future. Whether you live in rural Alaska or downtown New York City, your dependence on ecosystem services is the same. As a society, we depend on healthy ecosystems to do many things: to purify the air so we can breathe properly, cycle nutrients so we can have access to clean drinking water, and pollinate our crops so we don't go hungry. As the world's population continues to grow, so too does our dependence on healthy ecosystems to provide the necessities essential to our survival. By clearly understanding the value, we can make the best and most informed decisions about how to manage our landscape to ensure this value isn't lost. Human influence. Human action is currently disturbing a large number of ecosystems. For example, by removing most of the fish from the ocean, the whole food chain and system are disturbed and can no longer function properly. Introducing invasive species, or species that are not usually found in that particular ecosystem, also influences ecosystems, because these invasive species outcompete several of the native species that are necessary for the ecosystem to work the way it usually does. On a larger scale, humans can disturb ecosystems by causing the earth to warm through increased pollution. This changes the climate of the ecosystem and influences which plants and animals can live there. It is true that ecosystems can adjust to the changes in the environment. However, the current changes caused by humans are so frequent and sudden that the ecosystems cannot adjust to create a new balance. We are also shooting ourselves in the foot because disturbing ecosystems could have disastrous effects on ourselves. Less usable soil for crops, bad air quality, fewer fish, and contaminated water are just a few examples. Maintaining the balance of the ecosystem benefits us tremendously. Ecosystems are dynamic. They can change and adjust themselves. However, with too much variation or change, there can be situations such as droughts, where all but the most resistant plants die. The animals and microorganisms that depend on these plants would be affected because they would have to find a new source of food or die. Our actions as humans are causing these variations or changes to happen more often, and what we get are less diverse ecosystems and more extinct plants and animals. The effect of that would be uh, that our food cycles and food webs are disturbed, and those species, whether they be plants, animals, or bacteria that help us live, end up dying. It is important to take care of our ecosystems because they take care of us.